Welcome to Stick at Night. I'm Anthony L. Romano, Hudson County Commissioner representing District 5, the cities of Hoboken and Jersey City. With us today, I'm very happy as a graduate of New Jersey City University to have with us the dynamic new president, although he's been there a year, Andy Acebo, and some members of his staff. There's going to be a lot of different topics we're going to discuss, so please stay in tune, and we'll be right back after this break.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Welcome to Stick at Night. Hudson County Commissioner Anthony L. Romano here from District 5. With us today, we have the dynamic new president, I shouldn't say new, he's been there for a year, of New Jersey City University, Andy Acebo. Andy, welcome to the show.
Pleasure to be here, Commissioner. Thank you so much.
So much controversy before your ascension to the presidency was occurring. As a graduate myself in the master's program there, which I had a wonderful experience, I was concerned, and so were many of the constituents of Hudson County. Tell us about your background and how you came to the university.
Sure. So I'm very proudly Hudson County through and through. Born and raised in Hudson County. I tell everyone it's where I took my first breath, took my first steps, fell in love.
In Hoboken?
I was born in Hoboken at St. Mary's Hospital, raised in Union City, public school kid, proud son of first-generation Cuban immigrants, where they nestled and created a life anew right on Havana on the Hudson.
Havana on the, well, Miami. Yeah,
Miami.
Miami. Go get the man in Miami.
Yeah, the two exile communities, right? And so much of that experience kind of forged who I am. I've been privileged to be the first to do a lot of things in my life, the first to go to college, the first to earn a law degree, and now proudly the first to be a university president.
Question, you said you have a law degree, so how did you wind up from being a problem? What kind of law would you practice?
So I was a litigator, but with a strong practice focus in labor and employment. I represented actually a lot of public entities in Hudson County. Now Assemblyman Rodriguez, when he became mayor, I was his labor counsel in West New York. A lot of my philanthropic pursuits brought me into the space of first-generation students and college opportunity. And an opportunity emerged while I was in private practice. I was a partner. I made partner at a young age at a law firm. And the pandemic happens and kind of shakes you out of your core. I regrettably lost a lot of loved ones. Our youngest was only about 6-7 months old when the lockdown happened. He got very, very ill. Was hospitalized for weeks, and that shook me.
How is he now?
He's a testament to faith and resilience, and the source of a lot of my persistence in life.
Well, I admire that because I have a big belief in my Roman Catholic faith. Got me through some health issues myself.
Yeah.
So that I admire you very much for that.
Thank you. It's like the whole St. Francis.
Now, are you allowed to still practice law while you're the president?
I am not, although it feels like I am practicing it every day, right? with a lot of things we've had to navigate at the university.
What made you decide to go in that direction?
So an opportunity emerged. The former general counsel had been there for about 18 years. word got out that he had been contemplating retiring soon, and I had friends in the community reach out to me that there was an opportunity to join the university, then as the chief of staff and assistant counsel, with the promise to maybe become and succeed him as the general counsel. And so it made sense. My wife's an alum of the institution. My mother-in-law's an alum. Literally, nearly all my teachers growing up were.
Can't go against suegra.
I can't go against la suegra. Like I have the scars to prove it, right? So all those things aligned me, I think, to pursuing that opportunity. Little did I know that, less than a year and joining the university, that I'd find myself in this seat.
So you went from going to be general counsel to the president of the
Yeah.
university,
Yeah.
understanding that there was a lot of controversy going on.
Sure.
Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of talk about the financial deficit at the university, and I don't think nearly enough has been honored to the fact that there was also a deficit of hope on our campus, that there are very dedicated individuals, staff and faculty, that pour so much of themselves into a very distinctive mission that NJCU offers for nearly a century in our community, truly the public anchor institution of higher education. That there's mission creep that sometimes settles in organizations, and you try to be something that you're not, rather than really honor who you are and who you serve. And we've tried to speak to that unapologetically at times and often in true Hudson County fashion, and bringing galvanized people. And so in the midst of that crisis, I was less consumed about what my title was and more about the responsibility that I felt that I had. I've been maybe not so subtly accused of being too passionate, and my response to that has been that there are folks that aren't passionate enough about the work that needs to be done. And so when the faculty and students and some alums and board members leaned on me and asked me if I'd be willing to take on this charge, imposter syndrome, Commissioner, is a very real thing, particularly for a first-generation kid from Hudson County. But beyond title, responsibility is hard to refute when you're entrusted. And my faith, like yours, is something that grounds me and lifts me, right? And so I do believe that God brought me to this place for a particular reason at this particular time. And my objective is to honor that assignment.
Well, when we come back from the commercial break, we're going to hit on a few different topics, but I admire what you said about passion, because in some of our cultures, we're very passionate about it. And I want you to tell me how you were going to attack this fiscal situation, and where is the university right now? Also the relations that you'll have with the other universities.
Absolutely.
St. Peter's, Hudson County Community, with the new project with Hudson Connect, and some exciting things that you're doing there. I'm Anthony Romano. Stick at Nite. We'll be right back after the commercial break.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Welcome back to Stick at Nite. Let's continue our discussion with the president of New Jersey City University, Andy Acebo. Andy, we talked about before the break, fiscal responsibility.
Yeah.
How are we cutting into the problems that they have financially?
Listen, I think you begin, and this might seem poetry over prose here, but I think you need both. It comes about aligning values with institutional legacy and identity. So what we've done, right, when the university declared fiscal exigency in June of 22, it was forecasted at that time that the deficit would balloon, the operating deficit, to over $20+ million. Fast forward a year and a half into our administration, we are conservatively forecasting to end this fiscal year with a balanced budget.
Wow,
right?
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
thank you.
Mr. President.
A lot of difficult decisions, a lot of painful ones, some of which have been disproportionately felt by longstanding members of our community, and that's something that weighs on me.
Is Dr. Kaleti still there?
He is.
Oh,
Shout out to Bill Calais.
whoa, what he did to me with my thesis.
There you go.
I was originally with Jablonski.
Yeah.
He was aces.
Yeah, he's the incoming, Calathes is the incoming new president of the faculty union. So you'll have to get him on.
Oh, I'd like
grill
to
him,
get
turn the seats on him.
Yeah. But that's good that you still have some people that were there a
Yeah.
long time to help you, because he was,
Yeah.
it's good staff.
There are a lot of committed individuals, right, who I think were sidelined for a very long time. And my approach was very early on that it was, in order to solve something so that it was sustainable for the long term, you had to realign a mission. So over the last year, we've refreshed our mission. We're the only university in the state of New Jersey to have an English and Spanish version. We deliberately speak to who we serve. First generation, adult learners, the folks whose academic journeys are not linear, right? Life disproportionately happens to folks in our community. We serve the most socioeconomically diverse student population. The median household income of our students is $42,000 a year. Wow. That's not theoretical to me. I didn't have to go to school to learn about that plight, right? I'm the son of a waiter and a mother who at times cleaned other people's houses so that I had a roof over mine, right?
And I understand. I'm the grandson of immigrants.
There you go.
My grandfather was a porter, cleaning floors.
And I think
my
what's beautiful about our community, Commissioner, is that our stories aren't unique. They're incredibly common, right? The faces might be different, but the stories that crisscross our campus and the pursuit that they're chasing and the things that they chase after, a better life, are something that are incredibly noble and that we have to cherish.
I'd like to pay a little kudos to your staff, too, while we're here. We also have in the studio with us, who I know personally for a long time and who does a wonderful job in whatever task that she tackles. That's Milagros Peralta,
there you go.
who is your chief of staff.
Yes.
And that's an important position.
Yeah.
The gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And someone who's going to always be truthful and loyal.
Yeah.
So you have a good pick in Milagros.
Thank you.
And then I had the pleasure of meeting your new chief communications officer, Mr. Ira Thor.
There you go, like the superhero.
Yes. Well, that's a good omen for you.
That's it, right?
You know, and to build a team, it's always important.
Yeah.
I'm a person, I learned that at West Point through our command leadership school and every other leadership school. That's always a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
Anybody who thinks they could take it on alone.
Yeah.
And we both know some people, you know, that think
Naively.
they can.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So congratulations
Thank
to your
you.
team
Thank you,
around
Commissioner.
you.
I will say that, as we work to revitalize our campus, there have been external stakeholders, elected officials, state officials, community leaders, folks like yourself, who have poured energy into revitalizing our campus that I've counted on as partners. My mom, and I'll translate it into English, but my mom raised me to believe that you look at your circle and life will put that circle in a box.
You can say it in Spanish too.
I'll say it, but life will put your circle in a box so that you figure out who's in your corner.
I like that.
And so to me, that is something that life has taught me and reinforced over time, and the last year has not been a dearth of opportunity to test that.
Well, my next question I have for you, especially with, we have 4 distinct schools in this area we're lucky to have, and that's NJCU, St. Peter's, Stevens, and Hudson Community.
That's right.
And to me, it's important as a former educator also to have relationships with all of them.
Sure.
How do you feel about that? Do you think it's important?
Yeah.
Are there different missions? And
Yeah.
Please.
No, I think what's beautiful, right, and often gets overlooked by folks outside of our county, is the dynamism of our community, right? We are the most diverse.
First, probably in the United States.
Yeah, the most diverse, the most densely populated, and we uniquely have almost our own higher education ecosystem, right? We have an incredible Jesuit institution in St. Peter's. We have a research university right on the banks of the Hudson in Stevens. We have a world-class community college with exemplary culinary programs.
Yeah,
and
they shot up in rating.
Phenomenal. It's phenomenal. You know. President Reber is an outstanding higher ed leader. And NJCU, I think, with our own distinctive mission, completes that foursome there of how to tackle. And higher education is at an inflection point. For far too long, the status quo has been sought to be preserved, people preserving their little fiefdoms. And what we're trying to do is break down those barriers. In December, we launched an ASCU, American Association of State Colleges and University, and Aspen Institute program.
When we come back from commercial break, we're going to continue. It's welcome to Stick at Night again. We'll be right back with a dynamic president of NJCU. So stand by with us, and we'll be right with Dr. Acebo.
Thank you.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Welcome back. Continue with Mr. President. You were
Thank
on
you.
a good topic, so roll with it.
Thank you. So, in the spirit of doing things dynamically, right, and innovatively, and kind of breaking the mold and fostering opportunities for collaboration that move the needle in our community, one of the things that we fast-tracked, and one thing that I've learned with great frustration is that in higher education, seldomly do things move quickly, right? There's an overstudying of things, and it's the grand irony of higher education that it's supposed to be driving innovation, but it also rests on the laurels of tradition, and tradition sometimes is resistant to change. But the campus, I think, has found, in the midst of crisis and opportunity, the thirst to chase new things. So in partnership and in affiliation with the American Association of State Colleges and Universities, the Aspen Institute, we fast-tracked an incredibly innovative program with our sister institution in Hudson Community College called the Connect program, a concurrent matriculation that a Hudson County Community College student will simultaneously be admitted to New Jersey City University. They literally get IDs from both institutions, access to our facilities. We're working on being able to grant access to our dorms to those students who face housing insecurity and food insecurity. But most noble, I think, in this is our two institutions have come together to really facilitate a pathway to a free degree, a 4-year degree to the neediest students in our community. A pathway where no excess credit accumulation, that what you garner at Hudson Community College will wholesale be recognized and honored at NJCU. So you transfer with all your credits counting, and a pathway right now, what started off with about 17 distinct degree programs. In the last couple of weeks, we've now identified north of 45 degree programs. Again, everything from dedicated staff that will be providing academic advisement and moving the needle. Nationally, less than 30% of community college students pursue a 4-year degree. Even less end up graduating with an associate's. I think what we're pioneering with Hudson Community College, and again, they're dedicated members and the county being a tremendous partner, is facilitating that. And we're going to endeavor to be even more bold, working with the county high school system and the local public schools, facilitating ways where bringing the county college and NJCU into the fold, where we can have a position here where you need not spend 4 years pursuing a 4-year degree. Right, that a high school student graduates with their associates and is fast-tracked to complete their 4-year degree in 2 years, 3 years. That's a game changer in our community.
Wow, that's amazing. And it is, I think, the so-called marriage of the community college with the higher institutions here had brought the status of the college, of the community college, up a lot.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's a lot of enthusiasm at the community college. I'm on the board.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of, now we have the new gym we're going to build finally.
Yeah.
And I think that's important to
That's
take
huge.
some of the pressure off
academic
the
power.
other institutions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the collaborative effort that you're all doing is just so important. As you said out here, there's such a lack of funds sometimes for many of our students to, the debt of student aid and everything that's happening. So how do you see, is college for everyone? We're doing something with the building trades too. Right.
Well, I will say this, is it for everyone? The answer is yes. I fundamentally believe that. I think higher education needs to evolve to be much more responsive to the labor demands and the community needs. I think the higher education snobbery of intellectual sliding and superiority is something that has stunted a lot of the reach. I think institutions of higher education, particularly public universities, have a responsibility to not just be anchors in driving mobility in the community, but they also have to be stewards of place, right? And I think being a steward of place recognizes that people's academic journeys, as we talked earlier, are not linear, that the work is really to drive generational change, one family at a time, one individual at a time. And so I think reasonably, for legitimate reasons, you look at what's happening across the country, what's happening on a lot of college campuses where debate is stifled and censored, right? That the purpose of a higher education is to learn to question your own thoughts before you question someone else's. That isn't happening necessarily, and so the value proposition gets linked and conflated with that. But I would remind folks that the faces that cross our campus look very different than they did even 25 years ago. It's a much more diverse population on our campuses, and that the folks that often talk and decry the value of a higher education are folks that have degrees themselves, right? And so I think higher education remains, on every metric, the greatest pathway to economic social mobility for first generation and underserved individuals of any social program that our society offers.
Well, when we come back from the break, we'll continue the discussion with our president. It's interesting what you just said. It's, again, a clash of ideas, generational. Some things I find myself disturbing.
Yeah.
There seems to be a left-leaning of academic institutions. Sure. And to me, that's a little scary, going either to right or to left. Sure. When we're back from break, we'll continue with the president. I'm your Commissioner, Anthony L. Romano, with Stick at Night.
Good Friend Self-Storage in North Bergen, New Jersey is a fully climate-controlled facility equipped with state-of-the-art security, packing supplies, a Refer a Friend program, and multiple loading docks convenient for commercial use. Located just off of Route 3 at 4301 Tunnelly Avenue, Route 1 and 9. Call 201-867-2444 or visit us on the web today. Good Friend Self-Storage. Let us be your good friend.
Welcome back to Stick at Night. Let's finish today's show with our dynamic president of NJCU, Andy. Keep it going where you were talking.
Thank you. Yeah, I think higher education, again, is at an inflection point. And I think I'm going to quote a good friend to the university and in our community, civil rights lawyer Ryan Haygood, that talks about the fact that we're in unprecedented times, and unprecedented times require unprecedented people. And I think, fortunately, in Hudson County, there's a revitalized spirit that is energized by our immigrant community, right? Along with deep ties and legacies of people that are deeply entrenched in their communities, that lead very public civic lives, folks like yourself, right, who don't have to do this, right, that these are admittedly labors of love, right, and fidelity to a community of not just preserving a communal identity and link, but also ushering in the promise of tomorrow, right, and bringing people into the tent, right, to do good things in our community. And if given the opportunity, and the students that are across our campus, the faculty and staff who overwhelmingly are products of our community, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another institution of higher education that hires as many alums as we do, as many people who choose to make and dedicate their life's work onto our campus and pay tribute to it. And so what's happening at NJCU now, I think for the first time in a considerable amount of time, and I can't take the credit for this. I'm the coach, not the team captain. Like I've called the plays, but I've had exemplary individuals who've poured a lot of themselves into executing it and bringing their energy into the fold. And you know, crisis, I don't believe creates character; it reveals it. And NJCU has revealed its character over the last year.
I have a question for you. Do you think that academic standards, since you were in school, have been lowered for everyone? They talk about it at the police academy.
Yeah.
I think one thing, our Hudson County Police Academy, Director Miller has kept them high.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of times, I know the physical component has been lowered for different reasons. Well,
Yeah.
you're alienating this group, or, you know, we're changing this for that.
Yeah.
Have we become to the point where there's exceptions instead of norms for everything? And are the standards lower?
Yeah, I think as a general proposition, I don't believe so. I do think that I think there are unique circumstances on institutions. I think NJCU is not one of those examples. Maybe perhaps at the Ivy Leagues, right, where I pursued my undergraduate education, there might be some pivoting. I think maybe this is a circuitous way of answering your questions, but I'll be much more direct. I think what you're witnessing now is not a lowering of standards, but there's a premium put on what to think rather than how to think, right? And I think the promise of higher education is to teach you how to be a critical thinker, right? It goes back to what we were talking about earlier, to question your own ideas before you question someone else's. And I think on our college campuses, they're not silos, they're not sanctuaries of the greater ills that happen in our broader politics, right? That we define ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, of what tribe we belong to, rather than the common pursuits.
Well, here's an example I feel. When I was teaching, this was a high school class, upper grades, majority didn't know what county they lived in.
Yeah.
In college, I found out the art of writing, when I was teaching there, is lost.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest about
That's right.
it. Everything is social media,
That's
and
right.
I'm texting or I'm emailing.
Right.
We seem to have lost something that is very important.
Right.
All right? And
Yeah.
I think that's key.
Right.
That what happened to basic things.
Yeah.
All this other stuff about political philosophies
Right.
isn't, to me, as important to know that the United States is next door to Canada.
Right.
Okay? There seems to be
Right.
a drift away from basics.
Yeah.
How do we get back to that point and let them know that that's important, and they can't defy and students say that's not important? You should know what county you live in.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, and I think that that's one of the greater disruptions that are not just going to plague higher education, but society as a whole, with the advent and the great disruption that artificial intelligence is going to bring
Yes,
into the world.
yes.
Right? AI is
Yes,
a game
AI.
changer. For the first time, I think, in human civilization, we don't know what the next 20 years are going to look like. We don't, right? Because AI introduced a curveball into the equation. I think in the advent of artificial intelligence, we can't cede to artificial compassion, right? And that's at the core, is the preservation of humanity. And I think speaking to each other, seeing one another, building community, whether it's on a college campus or on a city block, is something that becomes even more important. The pandemic, that's the one thing that it stressed the most for us, right? For the first time in a century, we knew what it was like to be socially isolated, to be socially distanced.
Now you also have a world that has conflicts all over. It's
Correct.
almost approaching
Correct.
a world war status.
Correct.
And the radicalism
Yeah.
on both sides,
On both sides.
is driving a
Yeah,
clash.
correct.
Well, I tell you, it's been amazing to have you on.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And Andy, I hope to forge a relationship with you.
Let's do it.
Now, again, anything I could do to help the university. I think for our audience out there to know that you have a wonderful university for any of your children to attend, and you can get Andy in so many ways. His X account is at NJ. Well, you tell us.
Yeah, so I'm on X, formerly known as Twitter, at NJCU President, and on Instagram, same handle at NJCU President.
For Stick at Night, Anthony Romano. Thank you all for listening, and thank you, Doctor,
Thank you.
for everything you did.
I appreciate you.